Okay, here we are, day 17. Got a little bit of a later start than we wanted to, but that's okay. I got into it this morning just doing the bracketing to finish up the floor. Now we are testing our plumbing system and just making sure there are no leaks before we install everything in the van, just because it's a lot better to have a small leak out here than to have a small leak in the van. Fingers crossed.
All right, so we did discover a small leak right where our tube or hose is connected to our water pump, but it's a simple fix. You can see here the reason it was leaking was because this clamp was just a little too far over, so we went ahead and moved it closer to the water pump, and that should solve the issue.
Okay, so once again, we have our 12-volt batteries here. So negative to negative, and positive to positive.
On?
Oh yeah, go ahead and cut her on. So we went with the upgraded pump, so it's very, very quiet, which is super nice. Our water pump is very loud when you cut it on, and really is like...
Super quiet.
Yeah, very quiet. We need to still drill the Greywater hole. I was just waiting until the floors were in so that we would be able to drill all the way through everything. We got this unit in here with all the plumbing and stuff in it just so we could determine the correct spot, and now I'm gonna drill the hole through the floor. Okay, before you guys come at me and say, Seth, you gotta paint the holes, you just drilled in the van. I already did. I painted them. I did it off camera. Contrary to popular belief, we do not film every second of this. And some of that is just like we're trying to figure something out, or we get a little frustrated and don't really feel like having a camera in our face at the time. Anyway, very carefully spray painted inside the holes there with rust resistant spray paint, and then painted the underside as well where I had to come through. So it is good, it is not gonna rust, and we will wait for that to dry before we install our Greywater hose. All right, so we are rolling on installing stuff now. We got the plumbing run. The Greywater is run down to the Greywater tank and secured down there. It just needs to be plumbed to the sink, and this stuff needs to be hooked back up to the faucet like we had it earlier, and we are good to go. We're using nylon braided tubing. Nylon is super easy to work with, super durable, and very, very thick walled. So I'm confident that it will last a very long time in here. Basically the way it goes is from the bottom of the tank, it runs to the water pump. The water pump then feeds it up to where our sink will be. It splits into the both hot and cold, and both feeds go in. Again, that would be very easy to change if you wanted to add a water heater in here. And then from there, obviously the bottom of the sink drops down into the Greywater hose. And that is pretty much the gist of this plumbing.
So we'll check in. So we've got our kitchen unit completely mounted. Obviously there's no drawers or anything mounted yet. We have our bed and couch in, not mounted yet, which is why this drawer isn't in, because Seth is gonna have to go in from behind and basically mount from underneath. But these are in. We reinstalled those, so they're on the piano hinges down there, and they lined up perfectly, so that was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh. No. Okay. I'm sweating so much in here. Please.
I can't. Ew, your legs are so sweaty.
Wait, please. Oh. Oh God.
How are you?
What a horrific experience.
Bed's mounted though. Alright, so we're in the process of running our LED light strips, which I know you guys all love so much. We equally love them, which is why we do them on every single build. That's what they look like. They're super cheap on Amazon. So we're gonna go ahead and mount.
Throw it up.
Just checking to make sure it fits the vision, which it does.
Yeah.
There we go, baby.
Good deal.
He's sad.
I'm not sad. I'm tired.
You're tired.
I'm tired. I already did
You
all
broke
this.
my mic before
I broke the freaking mic, yeah.
Hanging down, so I guess our voices will be coming from our feet now. I need to repeat that, sir?
Hello.
Sir, I'd like to ask you, how do you feel about building a van in 20 consecutive days with no rest, breaks, or intermission?
I don't know that I recommend this. A quick little check-in here. So this one came together pretty nice. Check this out right here. Look at that. Now I am going to mount the drawer slides. For this, we're gonna end up doing the countertop and stuff, and I gotta wire all these lights in right here before we actually mount anything. But I'm gonna put all the drawer slides in because those need to be in before the countertop goes on. This is kind of the weird part where you need to really focus on what steps to take to make it the easiest on you, because crawling in there and putting the drawer slides in is going to be very difficult when the countertop is on. Same with wiring. So we're going to go ahead and wire and do the drawer slides, and then we'll drop the countertop in and do the sink and faucet and all that stuff, and we're super excited for that. Okay, we are going to get started here in a second with some wiring. Here's the main setup we have here. So I'm going to put the breaker in here for that, and then that runs down, comes out here, and we'll connect up to a charge controller, which will be housed down here. Again, battery, kill switch, inverter, charge controller down there, and then basically all the controls for it up here, as well as like a USB port and 12-volt port and stuff like that, just if you wanted to charge something inside this cabin. There will also be a USB port right here, and there is going to be a USB port as part of this apparatus as well. These two cables right here will run up to the front and will connect to the vehicle battery and run through an isolator switch, which cuts on at 13.1 and cuts off at 12.8. So it won't hurt your car battery or drain your car battery or anything, but it will charge these batteries. And I will put a voltage limiter on that as well. All right, that brings us basically to the end of day 17, or the beginning of day 18 for me. I am going to keep wiring and hopefully get everything set up tonight. I'll try to take you guys through that as much as possible tonight, but
He's gonna be doing it solo, cause I'm checking out. You don't need me for this.
checking out. And that's a wrap on day 17. I just wanted to show you guys where I'm at right now. So I've got all the batteries connected up, and it's important to use the right gauge of wire. The correct way to do it is to run from one side to the other on positive, and then the opposite on negative. So if you see, we have 1, 2, 3 batteries here, and the negative is running from back there to this one, and then from this one to this one, whereas the positive is running the opposite way. I don't know exactly the mechanics behind it. I do know that we tanked the first batteries we had on our van because I had them wired the same way, and it just wasn't as effective for some reason. Okay, here's where we are. It's been an hour or two since I recorded much. I have this faceplate laid out here with the charge controller. This is the battery isolator right here. One is for the isolator down here, and one is for this keyline inverter. And then I will drop this faceplate down in there, and we will be set to move up right here, and then we'll go wire in the light bulbs once that's done. I'm getting a lot of help from Lula here. Really liking how this is coming together. Basically, we've got our isolator, the kill switch, fuses for everything, charge controller. Here's some lead wires, and obviously those will be labeled. Right now what I'm doing is grounding everything, so the keyline isolator needs to be grounded, the charge controller needs to be grounded, and the inverter also needs to be grounded. So what I'm going to do is basically tap a post all the way down to the metal and ground it on the van itself. Then this area will be essentially wrapped up, and I can start moving up here. Might be calling it here for the night. Definitely did not get as far as I was maybe hoping to. I was maybe hoping to get this done as well, but I am pretty tired and it's pretty late. I am gonna call it there. I'm really happy with how this came out. I really like the black. I think Lula is wondering what the heck is going on right now. But all right, y'all. Catch you in the morning.
All right, good morning, guys. I've spent the morning, it's kind of a late morning, but detailing. It wasn't that bad overall. It was just like a very fine sawdust. So it really didn't take that long, maybe an hour and a half. So just a microfiber cloth and then this turtle wax stuff. Well, I've been doing that, and I do love cleaning. Seth has been working on our electrical, so he's gonna show you that.
Okay, so last night I got this whole section wrapped up down here, and I think I did some check-ins along the way. So down here we have the charge controller, we've got the battery isolator, obviously our on-off switch, and then right here we have the breakers for one is for the isolator and one is for the inverter right there. It's a 3000 watt inverter, and then I decided to split this one. So up here we have our fuse box right here. We have the breakers for the solar as well as the refrigerator right here. And then we have just two USB ports, and those are 2.1 amp as well. So they're pretty high voltage USB ports, just if you wanted to charge something up here. We also made sure to leave some extra leads here. So you can see there's two wires here. Those coincide with these two wires down here. So if you wanted to add something, like this, for example, goes up to the front if you wanted to add a heater. But essentially that's just a nice feature if someone wanted to make some customizations, etc. So it's been a long process. I am getting to the end of it, and then we will move on to wiring the lights. That's pretty much what it looks like. As I'm hooking these lights up, we're getting more and more lights on this, which is a very good sign. It means there's a small draw coming to that and it's not coming out the other side. So what I'm moving on to is the lighting. These are dimmer switches. These might be the only switches I will ever put in a van because I think they're awesome. I think they are super low profile. They have a little blue ring that lights up. You don't have to get them with the blue, but I kind of like it. And yeah, they're touch dimmable, which is sweet. So they're touch, they're waterproof, the whole 9 yards, and they're very inexpensive. So I'll definitely have those switches linked down below for you guys. What I think I'm going to do right now is just run a quick test to make sure I've got them wired up the right way and everything's working. So stay tuned. It's working as it should. So that's the way the lights look. I think it looks pretty darn cool. We got our light switches wired up. I only wired in just one of the back pucks. These ones have yet to be wired into the series. That is like a little LED strip underneath there, which looks pretty sweet. That is the LED strips that run along the toe kick, and these are obviously the upper LEDs, which still needs to be finished by the corner shelf right over there. This is the whole thing, kind of packaged up neatly. I've got our fill port in right here, which I'm pretty excited about, and then our LED backlit line is actually hooked to the water pump, so you'll be able to hit the button for the water pump, which yes, will turn the water pump on, but unless you open the faucet, it won't run water. And then this will cut on when you're filling up your tank, and it holds it in place. So pretty neat design for a water fill. I'll link this one down below if you guys are interested.
With the old track saw for this one, eh? I think the track saw is the only way.
No, this is what we got this for, to be honest.
Here's how she's sizing up. Pretty good, pretty good. What do you think?
Pretty darn good.
Yeah?
Pretty nice.
Next up, sink.
Sink.
Sink. All right, so now we are fitting our sink up. Track saw cuts on all 4 edges, and now Seth is going in with the jigsaw to do the corners. Here she goes. Got a sink, baby.
Well, hopefully.
We got a sink. We have a stove. So right now we're in the process of drilling both the hole for our faucet, and this will be the hole for our water pump. Seth is over the moon about to install. Are you over the moon, baby?
No.
He's so excited.
Sure.
He's ready for the van drill to be over, huh? Ready for it to be over? 2 days. I'm gonna set you guys up in here so that you can see the install here.
I'm wrapping up the electrical and water system before mounting this big boy in. Scarlett is doing something far more exciting.
I'm gonna attempt to do this backsplash as well. I've got kind of an inspo going with this.
Range made out of hexagonal marble.
I'm assuming it'll be pretty easy. Basically, you just cut the mesh netting, and like he did, I want it to go kind of like a natural landscape feel, so kind of like terrain-ish. So we'll see how it goes. We went with these because they had some like lighter yellow brownish hues in them. So basically they're just white, like stark white with those warmer colors. So we're hoping they'll bring out the all the warm vibes, you know?
really been ripping and tearing here. Scarlett's been working on that tile situation over there.
My head hurts.
I have been doing the plumbing. We've got no leaks down here, and everything is essentially squared away and ready for install. Here's the faucet. I just mounted this countertop to the rest of it, and it is very secure. And I have it tied into the actual metal beams of the wall of the van as well. I'm gonna drop that sink in and hopefully drop the stove in too.
Thank you for all your help today. Thank you. Thank you. So sweet.
All right, here we are. If my weak arm here is any sign, we are exhausted here at the end of day 18. We got a lot done. We got everything pretty much wired in. We got the stove and sink and countertop and all that stuff installed. So, and Scarlett has been hard at work. She detailed the van today, and also she's been working on.
I don't remember.
She's been working
My
on the
head
tiles.
hurts.
She's been working on the backsplash, which is gonna be super cool. I think we're on track still. We're on track. It's gonna be a push here at the end, but it's good. It's coming together.